I love books about cults. This was a book that I actually bought, and then I got the audiobook of it because I just wasn't reading the hardcover. I mean, paperback, but still, like the physical copy of the book. But now I've read it at least 2 times, I believe. I am kind of addicted to cult horror. I think kind of what draws me to it is because it's not a fantasy horror where the evil character is a demon or a monster. You know, the real monsters are people. I know that's like a cliche, but I really love when there's kind of a charismatic, crazy person who's controlling all of the people to do evil things. This is, can you not eat your hair? Oh my god. There's so much of it, just don't eat it. It's your hair, it's not like a treat or something. But there's kind of a sense of people being out of control due to, oh my god, stop eating it. Not like a magical mind control, but a kind of manipulative mind control. Stop eating your hair. Stop. It's bad for you. You're gonna have a hairball. So I'm gonna read you the summary, but honestly, okay. So I forgot to mention the other book that he wrote, and maybe this will be like a double review because I'm not even sure if I want to review the actual book. If I do review the other book later, it will be through the movie that was made of the book. Because the other book that this man wrote was The Ritual, which is one of my favorite horror movies, but one of my least favorite horror books. Like, I literally did not finish it. Like, I literally was listening to the audiobook, and I tried to read the book, and I literally put it down because I could not finish it because it was so bad. And the reason why it was so bad was it was just a bunch of these men going on a walk in the woods on a hike and just complaining about each other and being whiny and annoying. Like, I felt like there was no character development. All of them were super simple. It was just really frustrating and boring to read. And so I didn't, fortunately, I didn't realize it was the same author when I read this. I think I actually read this first and then I tried to read Ritual, which is good because I'm not sure I would have read this if I had read Ritual before it. But this was such a good book, and I love this. The quote on the title says Britain's answer to Stephen King. That's pretty accurate. It's definitely Stephen King-esque, but it's more of the style of the like helter-skelter stuff in the late 1900s. You know, kind of the fear of the satanic panic, where people were like, there's evil people who are trying to make people worship the devil and kill people. And I feel like this does a really good job of like capturing that kind of fear where there's like a mysterious cult and you're like trying to figure out what's going on and trying to figure out who to blame and how to reconcile your feelings with it, maybe your experience with it. It's just like a really satisfying cult horror book. Let me read you the back. When guerrilla documentary maker Kyle Freeman is asked to shoot a film on the notorious cult known as the Temple of the Last Days, it appears his prayers have been answered. The cult became a worldwide phenomenon in 1975 when there was a massacre, including the death of its infamous leader, Sister Catherine. Kyle's brief is to explore the paranormal myths surrounding an organization that became a testament to paranoia, murderous rage, and occult rituals. The shoot's locations take him to the cult's first temple in London, an abandoned farm in France, and a derelict copper mine in the Arizonian desert, where the Temple of the Last Days met its bloody end. But when he interviews those involved with the case, those who haven't broken silence in decades, a series of uncanny events plague the shoots. Troubling out-of-body experiences, nocturnal visions, the sudden demise of the interviewees, and the discovery of ghastly artifacts make Kyle question what exactly it is the cult has awoken, as well as its interest in him. Just a little bit about the author as well. Adam Neville was born in England in 1969, and he grew up in England and New Zealand. He is the author of the 3 other novels of the supernatural horror, Banquet for the Damned, Apartment 16, and The Ritual. Anyway, so this, very good book, very worth it. You can decide whether or not to read The Ritual. The Ritual movie, again, is one of my favorite horror movies. And I think he is a very good writer. I just feel like the subject of The Ritual was what turned me off of the book. This book, however, even though it's like a film crew of mostly men going through all of these interviews, I feel like it's a lot more compelling because there's a lot more action and direct action. I felt like The Ritual was a very slow book, and this is a very fast-paced book. I also love that, so one of my favorite horror movie genres is found footage, and it really feels like, because he's a documentary maker and stuff, this really is like almost a found footage horror book, in addition to it being like cult horror. And I think that's really cool that you can have like the found footage vibe. You know, oftentimes you're seeing through the lens of a camera or through the lens of a producer, and I think that's a really cool way to talk in a book and to shoot a book. It must be because it's hot. You are shedding so much. I loved the ending. I'm not going to say anything about the ending because obviously I don't want to spoil, but it's the kind of thing where it builds and it builds, and there's like very climactic moments. There's a lot of like creepy moments. There's a lot of almost like jump scare moments, and then there's like a very climactic final scene, which is very satisfying after you get through the whole rest of the book, because it really feels like continuity of his experiences. I think the book Children of Red Peak or something, that's another cult book that I really liked and that I will definitely talk about at some point. But if you really liked that book, you definitely like this book. There's also another book that I read that was about like some sort of like mutilation cult, and that one was also a good cult book, but I'll save those for later. Maybe I'll try to create a playlist of my reviews of cult books specifically, because I seek them out. If you have recommendations, please let me know. But this one was definitely one of the better ones that I've read.